Hello everyone, and welcome back to J Penny Reviews, where the only correct opinion is of course my own. Today we're going to be diving into the cinematic roller coaster that is the Fantastic Four movie franchise. We've got 3 movies, 1 superhero team, and 0 consistent quality. From a generic Spider-Man ripoff to space weather to whatever the hell the 2015 one thought it was doing, we're breaking them all down. So let's kick things off with the 2005 Fantastic Four. Now, I haven't seen this one in about a year, and it's not great. The first half is actually fine. You've got your classic origin stuff. They go to space, get zapped with cosmic radiation, gain powers, save a bridge full of civilians. Just a superhero movie 101. But the second half is just going from one character to another, saying what they want to happen for 30 minutes while Reed does science stuff. But then it's like the screenwriters got bored, slammed the final battle button, and rushed us to a cliche climax with 0 build-up. Victor Von Doom is one of the greatest villains in comic book history, and in this movie, he's a corporate guy with anger issues and comedically evil in all the worst ways. His plan makes 0 sense. His company is tanking, so he hides his powers, gets mad that Reed is curing him too slowly, and then decides to kill the Fantastic Four because of jealousy. Oh, and the board of directors gives him 1 week to fix the company image, and then fire him after superheroes show up, which should have made their stock prices go through the roof since their company created the Fantastic Four. None of this makes sense. Not logically, not emotionally, not in the context of Doom's character. Comics Doom is a genius, perfectionist, sorcerer, scientist, ruler of Latveria. He's egotistical but calculated. Movie Doom is just a giant man-child with vague power lust and jealousy issues over a girl he isn't even dating. Even when the movie tries to show him manipulating people, like convincing Ben to turn on Reed, it's so lazy. All he says is that Reed isn't trying hard enough, and Ben's like, "You're right, man, I haven't liked and trusted throughout the entire movie." When he's been living with Reed, and Reed hasn't taken a single break since they got into the Baxter Building. Don't even get me started on this Baxter Building stuff. They play fast and loose with the rules that they have to quarantine. Susan and Johnny and Ben are both out and about at random points throughout the movie without any reason as to why. Honestly, this whole movie feels like a bad Spider-Man ripoff without any of the compelling themes, charm, or great action the first 2 Spider-Man and X-Men movies had. Anyone who's saying that this movie was a product of its time, no. This movie had plenty of blueprints to look at. 5 by my count. It just chose not to learn from any of them. Characters get a 4 out of 10. Johnny Storm was the only one that was not only played very well, but was consistent throughout the entire movie. Story gets a 3 out of 10. There almost isn't a story to rate. The movie starts fine with the space station accident and everyone getting their powers, and up to the bridge sequence, but then after that, it's just a back and forth of the 4 characters stating what they want to happen while Doom watches them and eventually gets impatient and tries to kill them. They stop him, and now they're professional heroes. Acting is a 5 out of 10. Chris Evans was great as Johnny Storm, and Michael Chiklis was good as Ben Grimm. Everyone else was okay, and I kind of noticed a ton of god-awful ADR on Sue Storm. The visuals actually haven't aged poorly. The CGI on Mr. Fantastic was off, and if the camera stayed on the Human Torch for too long, it looked kind of bad, but the movie was actually smart and didn't show too much of them. But the real standout was the Thing. The practical suit looks amazing. It works perfectly for the movie. The action is a 4 out of 10. The fight between Dr. Doom and the Thing was kinda cool, and the bridge rescue was serviceable, but the rest of the action was pretty weak. Overall, the movie's a 4.5 out of 10. It is not fantastic. Now on to Rise of the Silver Surfer. This one actually surprised me. It's slightly better than the first. Now don't get me wrong. It's still bad, but at least there's a story. The threat is established early, the Silver Surfer is cool, and the team's chemistry feels more developed. But then there's Galactus. Or should I say, the intergalactic vape cloud. The fact that Galactus was a cloud isn't what bothers me. It's that he was just a big hungry force that you could kill with enough explosions. That's not Galactus. Galactus is a force of nature. There's no beating him, and it's one of the reasons he's such an interesting antagonist. He's beyond petty squabbles and is a counterbalance to growing life in the universe. And Silver Surfer? A character built on moral conflict, cosmic servitude, and poetic tragedy, just decides to solo Galactus one day, which means he could have done that the whole time. So he just let trillions die, and the movie never addresses this. In Doctor Doom, he was almost interesting. The idea of him helping Earth survive to protect his own interests, that's something that Doctor Doom would do. But then he's like, wait, the power cosmic, let the Earth burn. And he goes full cartoon villain again. These movies keep flirting with a comic accurate Doom and then just immediately ghost him again. Characters are a 3 out of 10. Everyone in the first movie was just as good, but they butchered 3 great Marvel characters for this movie. The story is a 4.5 out of 10. This movie had an actual plot, albeit a bad one, but it was still a coherent story. Acting is a 5 out of 10. Everyone was the same as the last movie. Visuals is a 6.5 out of 10. This movie has a lot more CGI and it doesn't hold up well, so this movie just looks a little worse than the first one. The practical things suit still looks great. Action is a 6 out of 10. Human Torch vs. Silver Surfer was really cool, although brief. The Fantastic Four vs. Doom fight was also alright. The rest of the action was just okay, but it was a notable improvement over the first movie. Overall, this movie is a 5 out of 10. Now onto the infamous Fantastic Four, or as it's known by a lot of people, Fant4stic. What is there to say about this one that hasn't been said already? It's widely considered one of the worst comic book movies of all time, and yeah, but I kinda like the first half. Not as a Fantastic Four movie, but just as a movie. The slow build, the body horror, the mystery of their powers, it had a ton of potential. Then they go to Planet Zero and everything just falls off a cliff. Reed disappears, Doom comes back, they punch him, and bam, they're a superhero team. That's the entire plot. The tone shift is so jarring. Half the movie is a slow sci-fi buildup, and the other half is the worst second act pivot since Catwoman. This movie dedicates so much time to showing Reed and Ben bonding, building the machine, and then completely forgets about all of it. Reed and Ben's friendship? Destroyed for no reason and resolved off screen. They go from best friends to bitter enemies to fighting side by side with zero development in between. Reed goes AWOL, Doom comes back, he's evil now because reasons. He hates Earth and wants to destroy it in favor of Planet Zero, which we've seen for a grand total of 5 seconds. The team dynamics? Non-existent. They share like 3 scenes together after they get their powers. This movie had potential, but it needed at least another hour to make the ideas work. And thanks to behind-the-scenes disasters and studio interference, we got this instead. Also, I did some digging and found out early drafts had Galactus in it. There was a rumored version where Galactus was destroying Planet Zero, Doom gets left behind and became his herald, and the final fight was against the Doombot while Doom escaped. That sounds awesome! Oh yeah, and I can't even forget about the ugly suits. Those suits look like trash bags from a sci-fi yard sale. And the movie clearly wanted to be dark and gritty, but forgot the Fantastic Four is supposed to be Marvel's most optimistic team. This movie could have been amazing, but due to an egotistical director and studio intervention, we got this garbage. Characters are a 2 out of 10. Every single character is a butchered version of the already weak adaptations from the 2000s. Story gets a 1 out of 10. Holy shit, I never thought having half the movie be genuinely good could constitute a 1, but here we are. This is a mess to watch, and it's like watching the first half of The Dark Knight, then watching the second half of Batman and Robin, and you're told this is how a normal movie is. Acting gets a 2 out of 10. I didn't like anyone in this movie. Apparently the actors were treated very poorly, so I don't blame them, but I didn't think anyone was very good. Visuals get a 5 out of 10. There are a ton of obvious green screens that are distracting at times, but when the movie looks good, it can look pretty good. And action gets a 2 out of 10. All the action sucks, and there was barely any of it. Actually, the Doctor Doom hallway fight was okay, but that's it. Overall, this movie's a 2.5 out of 10. This is just the worst comic book movie I can think of. After watching all of these, anyone saying Fantastic Four First Steps might be worse than these is out of their goddamn mind. They'd have to try to make a worse movie than Fant Four Stick, and honestly, I'd be more impressed if they did. That being said, I'm actually pretty excited for Fantastic Four First Steps. The early buzz has been great, the cast is stacked, the director seems to actually care, and if Marvel finally nails the tone and the family dynamic, I will be so happy. If you made it to the end of the video, seriously, I love you. Please leave a like and drop a comment, and subscribe so I can quit my job. I'll be back this weekend to review Fantastic Four First Steps. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, take care.